Hello and welcome to another update video about Link. Yeah, on the Chainlink chart, the price is still pushing higher, possibly in circle wave 1 of the larger third wave. I definitely still see Link as an opportunity in this rally here in this market, but Link needs to hold a higher low in the next pullback. And ideally, it would be ideal if we could see another 5-wave move up in circle 1 form over the coming weeks. And then a subsequent corrective pullback could be the next setup, which could then lead to a jump to the, let's say, $55 to $69 area in the third of a third wave. And then overall, we should still get another 4-5 pattern and another 4-5 pattern, right? So there is still plenty of opportunity there. Sometimes these rallies extend very directly. We've seen that across the sector recently with XRP, with ADA. Some other coins are just extending very directly in their movements to the upside due to the volatility of the market and the FOMO. These are pushed higher, and there is sometimes just not that additional structure anymore, right? Sometimes they just push higher and we do not see enough structure anymore for another wave 2, because the 1-2 setup already happened here, right, between June and March, and then we had a wave 2, so wave 1 to the upside, 5 waves, wave 2 pullback. This was the opportunity to, let's say, to take hold of, to use really, to find a position. And now we are pushing, and we haven't really pushed higher very aggressively, but that can still happen. At the moment we are in a, as far as I can tell, wave 1 of circle 3. There is an ideal target, first ideal target for the larger third wave, which is $69. Can always go higher, but this is the first ideal target. And if we go higher, will really depend on the microstructure. Important is to understand that the next resistance level is around $23.20, and then at around $27.56, we have an important pivot, which is the 78.6 extension. So this is a level that is relevant, because any break above this level will mean that I'm not going to watch anymore for a wave 2. Why? Because this move up is then going to be too long. And it doesn't look like a 1-2, 1-2 anymore if it's so high. So that means at that point, I assume we're already aggressively extending in a third of a third wave. And it's just that this larger third wave will not get a nicely defined subwave structure. This is just sometimes what it is. I mean, you have that in every really significant rally, right? I mean, it's not always going to do 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 steps. Sometimes they just break out aggressively in the main element of a third wave, and pullbacks are shallow. Now let's take a look at the shorter time frame wave count for Link. Link is still, as I said, pushing and is still holding, I believe, micro support levels. Yesterday, or a couple of days ago, yeah, it was yesterday, Link reached the 100% Fibonacci extension level. Why is that important? Because this is, if we look at this structure in potentially circle 1, we'll see if it forms 5 waves, right? When we look at the microstructure, the third wave in that circle 1 is a 3-wave move. And the C wave of that third wave has a target area, and it's between 1950 and 2540, even though 2540 would already be the upper end. Ideally, somewhere here now, a 4th wave pullback would start now that it's reached the 100% extension. I mean, if you are familiar with Elliott wave, then you know that an A wave and a C wave, they tend to have a similar length, can always go a bit higher, ideally not less than the 100% extension. Now we've arrived at that level, and I'm very much watching for a start of a wave 4 pullback. Hasn't started yet, can still extend, but this is now pretty much where we want it. It's fulfilled also based on the internal structure, minimum expectations. And if there is a pullback now, ideally we wouldn't see a break below $12.96. Ideally it would even hold above $14, because a 4th wave below the 50% retracement is questionable. But this support area covers several scenarios. Just because this microstructure is very choppy and messy, as you can see, we want to be covered for 2 to 3 different scenarios here, which I'm not necessarily calling out separately on the chart. Yeah, that's the update about Link. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.